and Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to SMJ-Tech channel. Today we'll be learning about a new function in Microsoft Excel which is SUMIFS. SUMIFS is an extension of SUMIF function where it allows you to apply multiple conditions for summing up your values. So over here, this is how our sheet will look like. I have extended our previous sheet, which I covered for SUMIF. You can learn about that. I'll include the link in my description as well. So over here, we have the same setup of fields that we had in our previous Excel sheet. We have the quarter-wise payment amount. I have added a new column, which is the payment status, which we will use for our SUMIFS function. So let's start off with our plain sheet. I'll move on to our working sheet over here. So SUMIF basically allows you to apply multiple conditions for summing up the values that you are looking for. So let's go over to the function dialog box over here. I'll select SUMIF. And as you can see, it basically pops up the dialog box in front of us. Let me just move it to the side so we can easily see it. Okay, it's asking me to give the range of items that I want to sum up. So let me just do that. I'll select the range from I9 to I25. Next, I need to give the range for the criteria. So this is the first criteria that I'm looking for. So in my case, this will be the quarter details, column E. So I'll select E9 till E25. That's the first criteria where I want to search the value. Now it's asking me about the criteria that I want to search in the range that I just gave. So I'll give it the reference of the cell, which I'll use for identifying. I'm looking for Q1 for this particular cell. So I'll select the value Q1. You can see it over here. Then we select the criteria range 2. Now the first part of our condition has passed. Now the second part starts. Now it's asking me what's the second range that you want me to search. So I just gave it the range for the second criteria where I want to see how many invoices or payments were paid where Q1 was the quarter. So I selected from J9 to J25. And lastly, it asks me about the criteria. So I can either write paid or I select it from the exact name that I gave that particular cell, E2, and click OK. So it immediately counts the fields or counts the payment amount where quarter is 1 and the payment status is paid. Let's apply the same for not paid over here. I press equals to, that brings me into the edit mode. I write SUMIFS, select it from here. Now we go about it in a more manual manner. So first, sum the range. I want to give it the range of where I want to sum the things I want, I9 to I25. Then I press comma. It immediately shifts to the second argument, which is the criteria range 1, which is the range for the first criteria. I give it that. Then it's asking me what's the criteria 1 again. Since we're still on Q1, I select Q1 over here, which is in B4. Then I press comma again. Now you can see it's shifted on to the second criteria part. So while I select this, You can also note that the second criteria and the next criteria, so forth, is basically written in square brackets. This specifies that all the upcoming uh, arguments are optional. So it's not necessary to provide them. Only the first three ones are mandatory. The remaining are optional. If you don't give them, it won't consider those values. So let me just give the reference for the second criteria and close the brackets and press enter. So it has summed up the not paid amount for quarter one. So let me just also show you a trick. But before that, as you saw in the SUMIF function just now, that it basically goes beyond two conditions. So right now, for everyone's easy understanding, I'm just showing you two conditions that are being applied in SUMIF, but you can apply more than two conditions as well. So what it'll do is it will apply all of those conditions and then sum the value. So basically it won't be an or kind of thing, it will be an and kind of thing. So all of the conditions have to meet before it sums up the selected range. So having said that, let me give you a tip on how to quickly fill out all the values. Now I can also, go by entering the formula for each and every one of the below quarters, or I can do one more thing. I can apply this change in the formula and drag it down to the rest of the columns, and it will automatically apply the values and the formula in those cells as well. So let me show you. In Excel, there's an option of including a dollar sign in front of the column name and the row name, which basically allows Excel to determine that these values will remain constant. So let me just do this for our range. This is the first range, the sum range, since it will remain the same throughout our work. So I'll fix it. Secondly, it will remain static. I mean, the values are changing, but the range itself will remain static. So it will always lie between E9 to E25 and I9 to I25. Then, but this part, B4 part, this is the criteria. This will change for each quarter. It will be Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So I let it be because once I drag it down, it will automatically increment the column name. I'm sorry, the row count. The color will remain the same. And same will happen over here. Our second criteria range is also static. It will always lie between J25 and J9. And my second criteria will always remain as paid, which is on E2. So I'll fix it. So this value remains the same. As soon as I select, I go over to the very corner, right hand side, bottom corner of my cell. You can see a small crosshair over here. You just press and drag down the cell values to the remaining ones. You can see it auto populates on all of them. Let us do the same this time quickly for our not paid column over here. So it actually saves time by quickly allowing you to apply the formula across your cells. Even more easier if you have longer list of cells to apply them on. So you just have to simply do it once and apply to the rest. Okay, one more thing you can also do is you just double click at the very end and it will automatically populate up till the last empty cell. So this is another trick that you can use for quickly going about your work. So there we have it, folks. We have our sheet ready. We have applied multiple conditions for summing up and applying multiple conditions for before summing the amount fields in our sheet. So that was all for today's video, and I hope you liked it. If you did, then please click on the like button and please remain subscribed to keep viewing new videos that I keep sharing across. Until our next video, please take care and Allah Hafiz.